Umbwa
He is. So let it be. Osama.
Anazisha mama yake na baba yake alikuwa jela US. Umbwa
Osama,
msinga sana.
you're letting him
Don't let him
provoke
speak.
you.
Let him speak.
1995 babake alikufa 1997 ajeenda kuona mazishi ya babake kwa vile alikuwa jela US. Alafu anajifanya
Okay, Osama, you need to focus on what's important. He's not important.
Don't let him
space. Kama toka space iko sawa, huyu ni mjinga sana. Sasa ingia kwa space yangu. Ende dishi kibe huko. Hakuna kitu ananifanyia hapa. Hakuna kitu ananifanyia sasa wote wawili. Wasi wajinga sana hapa. Ati you masculinity, you know sukuma wiki ya green, iko so masculine kuliko sukuma ya yellow.
Don't let him speak. Don't let him speak.
Kukula nyama ya ndume.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Osama, I'm really sorry you had to deal with that, but I need us to focus on what's important. And so in terms of what's important, the first thing is, of course, ensuring that we don't get sidetracked by any people who are really about clout or distracting you from the main cause of action, which to me is the following. Number one, when it comes to Billy, I spoke to Itumbi, and he told me that he managed to release a person who he thought was Billy, but turns out it was not Billy. I don't know how true. Listen, Osama, you need to listen. Osama, you need to listen. You're reactive and you're not listening. You need to listen. Please calm down. So he's saying it is Billy. I'm not saying I trust him. I'm saying he said it was initially Billy, or so he thought, and then it turned out it was not Billy. So now he's still looking for Billy. And I told him, the more he dilly-dallies on this issue, the more it looks bad on government. And so if they're genuine about treating people fairly, then they're really walking on thin ice. So the sooner he finds where Billy is, the better for everyone involved. It will be genuine. Whether they're genuine or not, that we know. There's nothing you can hide forever. So he said, rather than engage, he's only going to get back once he has that information and potentially the release of your friend. So that's number one. Number two, from a legal perspective, what are your options? Your options now is that this person is illegally detained somewhere, and the best possible legal option is a habeas corpus application. I've already spoken to some of my lawyer friends, and they had actually almost finalized on the application before Itumbi made that announcement. So they stopped, but now they're reworking the same. If everything goes well, they'll produce that so that Billy is produced on Monday. So those are the two things that I've done in the interim. Now, onto the issue that was discussed about picking leaders for 2027. Guys, to be honest with you, I think it's too early for us to discuss about 2027. We need to stay on course on what we want for purposes financial bill 2024 and the governance of this country. Right now, you are centered around creating change. There'll be a lot of people on both sides of the divide, both ODM and KK, who will try to get clout from this wave. So my plea to you is not to engage in any politician. Let it be purely citizen-led. Do not be distracted by people who are riding the wave. You have until 2027 to decide who will be consistent between now and 2027. In the meantime, let's stay on course to ensure the protest that happens this week is going to be the most organized, the most effective protest that there's been in this journey together. Second, we need to explore the options about recall. And third, we need to make sure that despite all the provocations that are happening around us, we remain calm, we remain factual, and we ensure that we're not distracted by sideshows. What this is, if I'm not mistaken, is psychological warfare. And if you react, Osama, and all of us here, and focus on the problem, you are playing into their hand. Because what they're trying to do is rattle you so that you panic, so that you can't think. And if you can't think, then you can't plan. And if you can't plan, you're reactive, you're emotional, and you're going to be triggered. which will then play into the narrative that this youth do not have points, they are not factual, are not engaged. They are abusive, they're reactive, and that will play into the narrative that they're trying to drive. Initially, they said we were spoiled brats. Then they said we were privileged. Now, the next thing that they're going to say is that we are abusive and disrespectful. Your eye is on the prize. I ask you to be patient. I know it's very hard, and I empathize with all of us because this is something that's affecting all of us. But I say, stay on course to focus on the two things. What I said about Itumbi, which I said, I'm not sure, but time will tell. And second, the habeas corpus application, as we try to come up with other solutions. I'll stop there. But I think, lastly, I think there was a comment made towards Jerotich. I think Kenyans, it's unfair for us to say that someone supported someone in the past and they should be persecuted for it. I think when we know better, we do better. But also, if she believed in this person or the manifesto this person had, I think it's worthwhile to understand that a lot of us have been duped by pieces of paper which seemed very genuine, but all that was pieces of paper. So whatever it may be, do not use this time to attack each other. Remember, it is Kenyans against impunity, it is Kenyans against the finance bill, and it's Kenyans against corruption. That is our enemy. If we remain on course to think that way, then nothing will come between us. But if we let sideshows come between us, then we will not win. Not the finance bill, not the war against impunity, not the war against corruption or tribalism or whatever it is that they're going to throw our way. So please remember, we're much bigger than that. We are unstoppable because we are focused on principles. Let's keep it that way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nasra, for that. So a little bit of an update.
Thank you.
I've received information that I'm yet to verify that Billy yuko alive na amekuwa akizungushwa between Naivasha sijui Nakuru, amekuwa akipigishwa malapu huko. But information that is reaching me ni kwa yuko, and someone has told me that they are trying to work level best na ofisi ya retired Prime Minister Jacob to see how best to possibly intervene. But also very important is that mimi najua for a fact that I can almost say for a fact that hii kitu ni related na mambo yetu, because vile Billy alichotwa jana, na acha hata niache kuweka sauti ya kunyenyekea ya wengi, vile Billy alichotwa jana, all of a sudden kukaanza coordinated talks about sijui ati you need to divert sijui your number, you need sijui to dial what ndio ati so that you avoid tracking. And to me, in hindsight, it looks like everything was just well coordinated to a level of to a point mali watu uoga, so that all the talk and everything about everything that has been going on was suppressed. Because it really happened once information ilitoka ya Billy. Billy amechukuliwa and everything. You perhaps ask about DMAX and something. I'm not sure about the specifics, but the moment vile information really got that Billy amechukuliwa, somehow information ikaanza tu kutokea tu kwa Twitter ati sijui ati watu wana track number, sijui unafaa kudidi, watu wanaanza kuuza so unafaa kuprevent aje sijui kutrack nini number. And ukiangalia there are specific accounts that have been tweeting pro regime. So najua hii yote hakuna kitu. I don't believe in some coincidences. Yes, one in a million things, but this is just too good a scenario to of coincidences, you know. So the long and short of it is that msaidie huyo Morio mali huko. Tuge tu huyo Morio, mtupatie tu boys. Juu Kenya mnadu si right. Pia nyinyi mnajua si right. And pia I see ati amwezi chota tu kila mtu. It's not possible. Kweli, it's not possible. Amwezi chota kila mtu. It's impractical. Amwezi beba kila mtu. Amwezi shika everybody. Yeah? Najua kuna operate, kuna maops, kuna nini, kuna agency boys, kuna nini, wako tu huko wanatusikiza. Amwezi chota kila mtu. Si possible. You know? So, yeah, sawa. Tutachukua then, and then, you know, and then. So pia, unajua hizi vitu, hizi vitu hasa digress kiasi, maybe not, on a tangent. Hizi ndio vitu zinafanya, hizi ndio vitu zinafanya watu wana protest against the government. Ni vitu kama hizi. Mnashinda mkiuliza, why are people revolting? Why are people protesting? Why are people mbona watu wako na hii attitude ya having total disregard for the elected people? I will not even call them leaders at this point, you know, at different levels. Why do people have these chuki na anger and resentment towards different whatevers of government? Ni vitu kama hizi. Tell your bosses, hizi vitu zinajamisha watu. Hizi vitu za kujaribu kusuppress watu by having illegal release, picking up, kubeba tu watu ovyo, holding them, detaining them, sijui nini, kuwapigisha lap, sijui wapi, nini, could try and cool down these quote-unquote dissent from the masses. These are things that are stirring up anger and emotions kwa watu. Because we cannot operate with this kind of impunity. It's just not. It's you know, amwezi kwa mahali mmekaa mtu akafloatia idea akasema okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, tutume nani na nani, wewe na nani, and then you fanye. And then you think things are just going to be okay, that that will quell the pressure, hiyo itapunguza pressure na the noise and the dini and all that. It just won't work like that. Ukitaka kuira moto unamwagilia maji, you know, there are ways that you handle, and I actually expect that most of you people who make such decisions, mnafaa kuwa mkijua better. You need to know, you should be knowing better about that these things, as it is, Sai, everything we have been seeing, hakuna tikitu inakuwa sponsored from anywhere specific. Yeah? If you look at the chronology of events of what has happened from day one, people have been having this anger boiling and this rage because they feel like there is a complete nonchalant attitude by the leadership in different aspects or areas of this different points in leadership, that kuna absolute disregard for the rule of law, absolute disregard for the well-being of Kenyans, absolute disregard for the citizenry. You know, and that is what made this thing become whatever it is. Even though ilianza na watu kwanza kuprint flyers na sijui unaona ingine sijui ana distribute wapi, mara sijui unaona watu wengine wanasema pia sisi tunataka, because whatever Kenyans are feeling, whatever we are feeling is what millions of Kenyans out there are feeling. It's not unique to me, it's not unique to to Osama. It's not unique to any of other